Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
All at once. Stepping off, rising block, first strike to the floating rib kidney. This is going to give you that effect. So even if the person is taller than you, for the most part, you cut them down to size because you're going to get that. The second strike is to the button. This is also, like I said, once again, to get the attention off of what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm opening up. Wrist, shoulder, slide in, elbow, break the balance, knee up and out. Let's count that in numbers one more time.
Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to linktr.ee/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now. One thing I've realized over the years, especially being a disaster preparedness instructor under the IPN, International Preparedness Network, and also studying the metaphysical arts and esoteric arts, is that our people are reactionaries. They're not proactive. And one thing in the disaster preparedness community, they always stress being proactive. And like the disaster preparedness community, in numerology or astrology or cardiology or all the rest of the metaphysical sciences, they are striving to help you to be more proactive in your life instead of reactive. It's not going to work when you just react to everything when it's really about being proactive. So when you come to someone like me or others, they're supposed to help guide you to your highest and wisest levels by using proactive tools to make you a better person. That is what in life. It will be good to be there when the gates of Mount Zion are closed. Good to be there, good to be there, good to be there. It will be good to be there when the gates of Mount Zion are closed. Good to be there, good to be there. Although the road might be so rocky, it's the only place we got to go. So rope in, children of Israel, and ride on. Children of Zion going home. It will be good to be there when the gates of Mount Zion are closed. Good to be there, good to be there, good to be there. It will be good to be there when the gates of Mount Zion are closed. Good to be there, good to be there. Just spoke to one of my sons. He's in the military. And he's about to be deployed today to a hostile area. But I had to remind him that no matter where he goes, his divine ancestors are always protecting him. No matter where he goes, as long as he's meditated up, prayed up, and keeping his energy on a higher vibration, there ain't nothing that's going to stop. I know he's a sergeant in the Army, and they're about to be deployed to one of those quote unquote hostile area. But when it comes to Earth, when it comes to Daughter Earth and Mama Universe, like Sister Myra L always says, Daughter Earth and Mama Universe, there's nowhere in this earth, there's nowhere in this universe that you won't go and that you can't be protected if you think and you know that you're protected, because we're in the age of knowing. And I know my son is protected. I know his ancestors surround him, because the ancestors energetically work from inside out. It's part of that energetic DNA. So I just wished him well. I said I'll see him when he comes back. Because the important parts of being in any military service, and those that have been in the military, thank you for your service. But sometimes we jump into places like the military that has done their policies and the things that they've done over the years brings back karma to the United States, or to people that travel, United States citizens that might travel across the world. A lot of people don't like people from the United States. And I understand sometimes we can be a little arrogant. Sometimes we come off arrogant. And sometimes the soldiers are not to blame. So respect the soldiers, because sometimes the soldiers are not to blame. It's the leadership. So my son is being deployed today, and I named my son who's being deployed today after a name Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad gave us, or said over the stage. One of his sons is named the same way. And I named him, and his name, I'm not going to say his name right now on the screen, because I don't know who's listening. And his name means born of African parentage, destined to rule. That's what my son's name. That was a name that that Dr. Khalid gave his own son. And those who know who Dr. Khalid's children are, not the one that's well known, it's not the same person, but he had at least 5 children, but I named my son that's being deployed to one of the hostile areas of the world. I named my son born. The meaning of his name means born of African parentage, destined to rule. So I give all my children names that they can look back to and be guided with, if they learn to tap in. Especially if I told, especially my boys, and the girls. The girls have middle names, and but for the girls, the mothers was over that naming ceremony because I wasn't with them. But the boys, I was with their mothers. So the names that I gave them, they can always go back and be guided by that name. They can always go back and reflect on the meaning of that name to guide them to who they are and what they're supposed to do. So that's why it's important to have a good name. That's why it's important to give your children good name or choose a good name. Today is May 3rd. And what's so funny, my son's birthday, the one that's been deployed to one of the hostile areas in Europe. He's born May the 7th. So he's in a what we call a critical cleansing cycle. But by the time he gets there, I think it's a good time for him to go. And no matter how it gets there, by the time his birthday comes into fray, he'll be in a reputation cycle. And I pray that he builds his reputation appropriately. Today is James Brown's birthday. Today is Star from Star and Buckwild, Star Report's birthday. Today is Dame Dash's birthday. And I wish all of those brothers a powerful, powerful day of meditation and prayer. And of course, we know James Brown is no longer with us, but his energy is still around in hip hop music and in music in general. His style of dancing is still around. His way that he mastered the stage, James Brown, is still around. And this is a good time to play some James Brown music, because if you want to understand who Mr. Soul was, and if you want to get some soul in your and some soul in your hips, and you want to get some movement in your hips, play some James Brown today. Play some James Brown today. Today is his birthday. Today is his Earth Strong. Happy birthday to the great James Brown. Happy birthday to the great James Brown. Tomorrow's birthday, we know, is 19 Keys. Tomorrow's birthday is 19 Keys. So enough respect to him. Very powerful people born under that number, or born under that day in history. I'm sure if you Google up the many people in history and celebration of those people that were born today, and every day, to tell you the truth, there's someone that's born with some type of celebrity status, born on everyone's birthday. And usually when I do consultations for people, I tell them, look up the people that was born the same day you were born, and celebrities that was born the same day you were born, and then check out what they went through to become what they are. Because the vibration of that number that you're born under is usually a resonant vibration and a thread that you and that person share, once you understand the use of your numbers, because numbers are here to guide, not here to control. Now, if you go down the high road of it, that's up to you. If you go down the low road, that's up to you. But again, family, I did cry a little because my son is being deployed, and he's my only son that's in the military at this time. My other son, he's already out of the military. He's a former Marine. But they're not patriots. They're not patriotic. They went in there to make some money and get some education and do what they had to do. And this particular son decided to, go on a little extra. I think he needs that discipline. He needs that order. But like I told him, to stay meditated up, stay prayed up, and remember that nowhere in this world, in this universe that he goes, he's not protected. He is protected. And that's what, if you have children in the military, you must let them know that in their DNA, their ancestors worked through them, throughout their energetic DNA. So I'm honored to have children that are doing great things or that will do greater things. I'm honored to be born from a womb and from an energetic sperm cell that allows me to do great things, that connects me to my divine ancestry. I'm honored to have an ancestors that have done great things in their own way, no matter how big or large it may be, no matter how small, no matter how small it may be. Honor and respect your energetic ancestors. You don't have to worship them, but you can connect with them through the stories they may tell through your DNA if you listen. They tell you the story. They give you the dream sometimes. They give you the thought patterns that we think of, that we just get out of nowhere. Sometimes those dreams come to you, or those daydreams or those night dreams might come to you and say something. Pay attention to the something. Pay attention to the something that's being told to you, whether you're walking and you're going through a daydream spell or whether you're going through a night dream spell. Pay attention. Write your thoughts, write your ideas, because when you put it on paper and write it with your own handwriting, it sticks. It's a reminder. I looked at some of my old handwriting of all the ideas and stuff, and I've done most of them. I've actually accomplished most of those things, from when I was in reggae, when I was MCing, when I was performing, when I was doing radio, television, all that. I've accomplished most of them. I looked at my old writings a couple months ago. I'm like, wow, I did it. I did it. You know what I'm saying? I did that. I did that. I did that. I did that. I said, oh, damn, and I didn't even look back at it. I haven't looked at it in a long time. It was just imprinted in my mind because I wrote it down on paper. I scribed it out. And that's what the importance of scribes was all about. That's why people of ancient times put things on walls and embedded it in stone. I am a griot, but yet I am a scribe. I am a griot, but yet I am a scribe. I am one who would share the stories through numbers, but yet I am willing to write also. And most of us do the same thing. All of us are scribes and griots. If you remember certain things about your mother and your father, your grandmother, you tell your children, you tell your grandchildren, you tell your aunts, you tell your nieces, your nephews, tell them the story. Tell them, be willing to share the story, because that is the mouth to ear griot philosophy of passing on story from mouth to ear, from generation to generation. And if you're a writer, write it down, write it out, give it to them, give them the story. Don't ever think that your story doesn't have meaning and it won't help people to understand, especially if you're telling about some of the elders that you went through. And even if you're adopted, tell the story. Tell the story, because sometimes those adopting agencies are not the best way. They're not the best places. Those foster homes are not the best places. Tell the story. Don't be afraid to tell the story. Tell your story. Everyone should write a book. Some type of book, even if it's not a book that you're going to print. Pass on the story and give it to your child, or give it to your niece, your nephews, or somebody in your family that may be the one that will spread the story. They may be the one that will spread the story. You may not be the one to spread the story. Maybe your children might not spread the story, but maybe that niece, that nephew, that grandchild will spread the story for you. Because my grandfather on my mother's side wasn't much of a writer, but he was a contractor who was a friend of Marcus Garvey. He was part of the UNIA. And my mother didn't teach me about that. I had to ask him at the age of 89 and 90 years of age, and he told me the story. Because they didn't ask. I'm inquisitive. I'm inquisitive. Don't be afraid to ask your grandparents. Ask your grandparents' sisters or brothers around them. If your grandparents don't want to talk or can't talk, ask their sisters and brothers. Ask somebody in your family knows the story because it was told to them. I could call my cousin in Canada right now. I didn't know that my grandmother went through a mental facility, but her mother told her, and she was willing to talk the story to me, and it's embedded in my mind to write the story about it. I wrote about my grandmother's mental health. I didn't know my grandfather took his life until my father told me. My great grandfather took his life until my father told, over depression and over relationship. I didn't know. And now I'm able to connect the dots and why I thought about doing the same thing. I didn't know my grandfather's, I don't know his birthday, but I knew his name, and I knew it added up to a number that deals with emotional mental stress. That 22. As much as people want to have the master number 22 or the 33 or the 11, it comes with a lot of stress if you're not willing to handle and carry that power, and you don't know how to carry the power of the number 11, the 22 or the 33 or the 44 or the 55 or the 66 or the 77 or the 88 or the 99. If you don't know how to handle that power or carry that power, and nobody shows you how to carry that power or handle the power, it can be, the master numbers can be a very depressive number because you don't understand your mastery. You don't understand how to use your mastery, and you will feel alone. That's how powerful master numbers are. You'll feel alone in the world. And it becomes depressing if you don't connect with somebody like me or someone like Lloyd Strayhorn or someone that can read in to you through your name and your birthday from a holistic perspective. Not just from a menial perspective, but from a holistic perspective. Not just one linear way, but from a whole way. That's what I do as a numerovator. That's why I practice and created numerovation. If you Google up numerovation definition, it will come up, and it will take you straight to me. Not numeration. Not numeration. Numerovation. If you Google it, it'll take you straight to me. So I am making history, and each one of you can make history, so we can remove the mystery of who we are and what we are in this realm and what we came to do. But you got to be willing to make history. We're writing a book every day. Every day we're writing our testimony. As long as you are above this earth, as long as you're above being buried in the ground, you have another day to write your history, to remove the mystery of what happened in your family, to remove the mysteries of the pain and traumas in your family, to remove this so-called curse, because there's no curses. The only word for curse in the English vernacular is damn. And none of us are damned. Don't listen to those Christian pastors that tell you that you were born in sin. None of us were born in sin. We may have been born in a world that has carried an energy of sinful things going on, but none of us are born in sin. All of us are born divine. All of us are born from all of us are miracles. We just have lessened the frequency and the understanding of the miracle. Sperm meeting ovum is miracle. Let me say that again. Out of millions of sperm that is ejaculated from man into that one woman to get to that one sperm, it's a miracle. It's a miracle that out of all that million, one make it. And sometimes one doesn't make it. Sometimes it gets stopped by the ovum's protective shell, and the ovum's protective I don't know the name of it per se, but the ovum has a protective shell and an energetic cell that stops it. Remember, the woman's body is fighting it from doing what it comes, because it's a foreigner in that space. It's a military move. That's why it's not just one sperm that batters that wall down. It's multiple sperms that battle that wall down, and then it allows that one sperm to get through. It's a military move. They study military through sperm ejaculation and its attack on the ovum in the woman. They study this. It's like Hannibal. It's like the art of war. You send all the private soldiers in to weaken the point of where you want to barrier through and bust through, and then that one gets in. That's military. That's the sperm, baby. So every man on earth has a living army. Every man on earth. That's why as much as I respect the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, when it says to teach a man is to teach an individual, but to teach a woman is to teach a nation. No, to teach both man and woman is to teach a nation, because man has 1,000,000 sperms to their one ovum. 1,000,000 sperm to one ovum. That means, who was saying that? Our sister was saying, yo, that means 30 men could probably impregnate all the population of women. Just 30 men. Think about that. And that's why Dr. Africa said the same thing. Dr. Africa said you got to think from a holistic perspective. Don't just think on a feminine and only a masculine. It takes the two. So it's not a nation. It takes, see, people keep on repeating that lesson. To teach a man is to teach an individual, and to teach a woman is to teach a nation. Oh no, we got a whole nation of sperm that has work to do if it gets through. We got millions of sperm we ejaculated. We're not even thinking about it. So don't lessen yourself, brothers, and don't lessen yourself, sisters. The ovum is bigger than the sperm. That's why it takes so many to come and get to it. But don't lessen your powers. Don't lessen your greatness, brothers and sisters. We are here as the yin and yang energy. And yin and yang is not opposition. It's complementary. They complement each other. That's why it flows in harmony. And that's what we're here to do. Flow in harmony with each other. That's why in numerology, there's masculine and feminine numbers. That's why in astrology, there's masculine signs and feminine signs. Every one of them has a job to do. And when one takes you to where it got to go, then the next one take you to the next level. That's the balance. So keep the balance. Keep the balance. Keep the balance, family. On that note, family, I am honored to be a vessel of numerovation to the world. I'm honored to be a divine masculine and divine feminine in this world, because we all have it all. It's just that I came to do the male work, the masculine work. Some of y'all came to do the feminine work. Some of y'all come to try to do both works at the same time, or become both of them at the same time. Like what's her name? Monroe. What's her he she name? Monroe. She wants the he she and we. That's what she calls herself, the he she we. Monroe, Mason Monroe, whatever his name is. He's a man, but he's a woman, and that's I don't condone it. But if that's if that's its experience, then that's its experience. I can only respect the she, he, we, whatever it is. I can only respect it, because I will still laugh at her jokes. She's still funny. It is still funny. He is still funny. Whatever. It just gets confusing to me. It's just not my thing. But Flame Monroe. Like, hey, you gotta respect her, and I gotta respect her gangster and his gangster. When he wants to when Flame wants to become that Monroe, that father figure, it becomes that father figure. When it becomes Flaming, it becomes that mother figure. And all of us have it all in us. When a woman think about this. My grandfather was a single parent to his 3 daughters. Was he able to breastfeed? No, he wasn't. Of course not. He wasn't able to breastfeed. However, he had to become both man and woman to his daughters, or then attract or ask his sisters to help out. Women does the same thing. When there's a single woman, sometimes they have to be man and woman in the family, but yet we keep on forgetting there's a male society also helping out women that are single in this realm. It's a male society because this is a European patriotic society that seems to gear towards the women, although they be shutting down women. This realm can be an oxymoron sometimes. They say they gear towards the women that single parent women can get housing and places to live, where single men cannot get places to live, but single parent women can. But yet they're battering down the women sometimes. That's why we need balance. We need balance. The balance is coming off of the earth because of what's being promoted, all of that. And I love what Ian Levanzant said on the Griot show. I think it was the Griot show with Ebony Williams. I love that. She broke it down. And you could tell Ebony is one of those women that, she born the same day as my grandfather. She born September 9th, but Ian Levanzant is born September 13th. She brought some foundation to the madness of modern day women who are acting like men or are men in skirts. Ian Levanzant brought some clarity to that. And I hope, and look out for Ebony. Ebony is going to change a little bit. You're going to notice, because once you get touched by Ian Levanzant and how she broke down femininity and masculinity. And remember, she's friends with Queen of Four. They all contemporaries here. And it's not just Ian Levanzant doing it. There's many women that's bringing the balance again, where she said, instead of being competitive, be a majesty. Women should not be competing with men. They just need to be still and be the majesty on their throne. And then men would respect that. And you got to let men be men. But if you're using your mouthpiece to destroy us, you're really destroying another side of you. And if a man used their mouthpiece to destroy you, they're destroying the other side of you, of the other side of them also. You know what's so interesting? When I was into the club life and calling women bitches and hoes and all that kind of stuff, I really felt it in my soul. Every time I said it, it hurt me. Every time I realized that, as I look back into time, every time I said it, it hurt me, because I knew I would never call my own mother a bitch or a hoe or a prostitute. I knew I would never call the divine femininity of my grandparents, my grandmother, a hoe. And although my grandfather, who was married to a woman that would just bear children for him and then leave, I would still never call her a hoe. Never, ever would I call my grandmother. And my grandmother on my father's side had 3 children from 3 different men, but I would never call her a hoe. Those was her lessons. And she flipped them into being my grandmother, who had 3 children from 3 different men. My grandfather's woman, they never got married, but they had 3 girls from that same parent, those 2, but she never stayed in the house. But my grandmother, who became a nurse and a midwife, and became one of the top nurses and midwife in New York City, in Brooklyn, serving 3 different hospitals, had 3 different children from 3 different men. And those same 3 different men, always, when she moved to America, she would send money to help those same 3 different men. She would still help them. That's how my grandmother on my father's side was. So I would never still call her a hoe or a loose woman, because she still got those lessons from those men, got those blessed children from those men, and still brought her children to America and helped them to become their greater self. My aunt, Tiny, she was a pioneer in Jamaica as a journalist. and a playwright. My uncle was a mechanic and a builder. My father was a paramedic and also a club owner. Yo, that's wisdom to me. And they all came out of the same womb and the same sperm. Although their fathers wasn't around, they still turned out to be quite well. Did some of them go through drug issues? Yeah, my father went through drug issues. He went through all of that. After I was born, that's what separated my mother and them. And then his second wife is separated. That's what. So I understand that. So we got to look at the history so we can get rid of the mystery of our family. Find the history in your family so you can get rid of the mystery. Don't have to be angry at your mother. You don't have to be angry at your father. You're going to find out there's root causes that made your mother or your father who they are. Might be their father, might be their mother. It's generational. And we want to break those generational lessons and turn them into blessings. I don't call them curses. I don't claim a curse. Don't claim curses. Turn them into lessons. Change the language in your head because all of us have to go through a lesson. Change the language. Change the language. Like Reverend Ike would teach you, change the language. It's not a curse. It's not a curse. It's a lesson that they have just passed down to us, and we were all made for this period of time to overcome those lessons of our past and turn them into great lessons for the future. You understand? So women are never whores and men are never pimps. No, women are never whores and men are never pimps. You got to find the balance and you got to know where it came from. And that lesson they can flip into a blessing for this time, especially if they was raised in the quote unquote whore culture or the pimp culture. This society breeds pimps and whores. Iceberg Slim didn't do it. Donald Goines didn't do it. They didn't invent the pimp and the whore process. They didn't invent that. This society, Europeans and their madness made pimps and whores. They made the pimps and the whores. Because remember, in our ancient science, we found balance. That's why you could look at temples in Kemet and temples in Timbuktu and temples in different parts of the world where you see the divine masculine and feminine sitting together, not one behind the other or one in front of the other. They didn't teach that. On that note, family, I'm waiting for the boiler person to come and fix my boiler. And then, hey, we're about to have this beautiful interview. Beautiful interview I'm going to do with Courtney Kane Sides. She's from Forbidden Knowledge TV, and she has her own YouTube channel. She's a spiritual medium. She's an author. We'll be speaking to her. I met her at Billy Carson's house at a New Year's event, and I decided to have her on because she had me on her show. And we're going to have some fun tonight at 7:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. This evening, 7:33 p.m. I'll start at around 7:25 to run my commercials a little. If you notice, I've been lessening on the commercials in the beginning. So I've been just playing one or two commercials that are paid commercials. And then towards the end or in the middle, I'll just run another commercial. And then at the end, then I run the rest of the commercials. But I'm trying to start the show as fast as possible. Got to sharpen myself. And remember, please nominate your brother for the Forbidden Knowledge Awards, family. Nominate your brother for the Forbidden Knowledge Awards. I am honored to be a nominee, but you can still keep on voting. 954-245-0086. That's 954-245-0086. That's 954 245-0086. Text that number, and then when you text, the whole jot form should come up. And please vote for me for Author of the Year. Author of the Year. Vote for me for Author of the Year. No, this will be on my YouTube platform. It'll be on my YouTube platform tonight. It'll be on my YouTube platform on King Simon Presents. Only quality people. Just go to my IG and go straight to my link tree, and it'll take you to all my links. It'll take you to all my links on Linktree. I even have a private Facebook group that I teach the ministry of numerovation. I'm going to be more active after this so-called retrograde. So please tune in after May 14th. I'll be more active starting on May 19th. After this retrograde, we will be going in on the Ministry of Numerovation Facebook private group if you want to be a part of that. And people that join my Facebook private group usually get they're going to start getting specials for events, specials for different functions that I might do, and discounts and all that kind of stuff. So on my Facebook group called the Ministry of Numerovation, go to my link tree and it will take you straight there to my Facebook group. And also right there, you got the donation button and all that, the PayPal, the Cash App, my websites and all that. I'm going to start reconstructing my website because I need to start selling my classes. I'm going to be producing pre-recorded classes. So, and I'm going to teach on each number individually, because some people don't want to go through all the numbers, but I want to teach on each number individually from a holistic perspective, and you'll be able to pay for those classes. And you'll be able to, you could choose to go from 0 all the way to 31, or 0 all the way to 9, or 0 it's up to you what you want to advance yourself. So I'm going to start teaching those classes. And of course, there will be a donation have to be given for those classes, but I'm going to start pre-recording because I don't want to do it while people is on with me, because I want to stay focused. And I don't want to be disturbed by anybody throwing up any questions and all that. So I'm gonna start doing real serious breakdown of 0, where it comes from, where we got to go with it, how to use it, how to navigate with it. When you see zeros popping up, when you see 1, paying attention to the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, and those that are connected to those numbers, how to use them. They're going to be like hour classes. Each one of them going to be an hour dissertation or hour and a half dissertation and breakdown of those particular numbers, going all the way up and doing the 99s and the 88s and the 77s, and how to use them from a holistic perspective. So I got to get into production, especially in June. I'm going to start producing those things in June, and late May into June. And then you can actually purchase those classes, and they'll be yours to study. It's all numerovation, baby. It's not numerology. It's going to be numerovation. How to motivate yourself, but also motivate people around you. How to recognize when a person is down and out, how to tap into their numbers if they're willing to come out of that slump and work their mind into understanding that they're born under frequencies that can help take them to the next level and continue them on the path of true inner standing and outer standing of who they are. That's what we're going to be doing. That's what King Simon Production, as I'm building my inner team, my ancestral team, my divine team. And, some of this stuff I'm doing by myself. I'm not in any relationship and none of that stuff. So some of this stuff I'm doing by myself. So I'm like a championship boxer right now, and a championship wrestler, or a championship. I have to preserve energy now and then release when I need to manifest something. Some things you got to manifest. There's some energies you got to manifest. Let me stop that. Some energies you got to manifest. And if you're going to have sexual energy and do certain things, you got to be able to take the sexual energy and turn them into something that you're going to manifest. So yes, I got no problems with it. Got no problems with it, baby. My family, remember, tonight we'll be on YouTube at King Simon Presents and on the Numerovation Nation. So I have 2 YouTube channels on my Instagram through my link tree. Just go to my link tree / King Simon the Numerovator. Also, on the 10th, I will be interviewing Lloyd Strayhorn, Aquarius Maximus, Nina Diamond, her mother, and Jackie Levine. They will be all coming up. And I will also on the 17th, I'll be interviewing Adara Moselle. Adara Moselle will be on there about tantric healing and how it can save your relationship. And then on the 24th of the month, I have Donnie Arcade first at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8 o'clock, and then I have Conjure Queen from 9 to 10. On the 24th of May, I have Donnie Arcade from 7 to 8, and then I have Conjure Queen from 9 to 10 on the same day. And then on May 31st, early 7 o'clock, I have from 7 to 8, I have Sonia Barrett, PhD. Sonia Barrett, who teaches on neuroscience. She's like she's like Jewel Pookrum when it comes to knowledge. I don't know if y'all know about her. She goes back with us back in the day with LIU, and Brother Shabazz used to bring her in. I have Sonia Barrett coming in on May the 31st at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, all the way to 8 o'clock, maybe 8. And then I'm going to be interviewed by Nikki Shepard and her partner, one of her business partners, on their show on Forbidden Knowledge TV. So y'all, we got a lot of going on in the month of May, baby. Oh, and I can't forget May 21st on Notorious B.I.G.'s birthday. I will be interviewing Kerry Ann Ingram on Sunday, May the 21st. Everything I was giving you is all Wednesday events, but I forgot Sunday with Kerry Ann Ingram. She's a Reiki master. She's a teacher, educator, spiritual advisor from out of Toronto. So Toronto people, if you need some guidance and need some, and all over the world, you can do work with her online. She's the one to deal with. Very good energy, very good spiritual vibe. I love what she's doing on her IG. So I'm happy. Her name is Kerry Ann Ingram. Very beautiful sister. And if you're in Atlanta, Georgia this Sunday, I will be speaking at 640 Evans Street. That's Una Teas and Coffee. Una Teas and Coffee. Tassili's spot. That's Tassili's second spot. Come on out from 2 to 6 p.m. I should be on stage by 4 o'clock. That's a good time for me. So from 4 to 6, I'll be dropping that wisdom and dropping that knowledge on the importance of using numbers to motivate you. The importance of using. So it's only $5 to get in. So make sure y'all go to Tassili Raw or go to my Instagram, and you'll see the flyer, and then you could go on and pay $5 at the door, whatever. I think it's $5 in advance, $10 at the door, but come on out with your pen, pad, and paper and your questions. Come on out. We're going to have a good time this Sunday, May the 7th. This Sunday, May the 7th at 640 Evans Street in the West End of Atlanta, Georgia. So come on out if you're in the area. If you can come on out, if you can drive from North Carolina or drive from any surrounding states, come on out and have a good time from 2 to 6 p.m. That's all we're doing. If you're a vendor, you can contact them to vend if you want to vend. And if you're vending, you get to see the whole event also. And just make sure you contact them and go to Tassili Raw or Tassili Ma'at and hit her up if you want to vend at the event this coming Sunday. It's going to be a good event. I'm going to have a good ass time. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get a little emotional. I already know it's going to get a little emotional because when I start breaking down numbers, I like to tap in to the energetic emotional because I got a lot of water and earth in my chart, especially when it comes to my zodiac, my horoscope. So I got a whole lot of earth and water. So it's going to be a lot of downloads, uploads, and foresight and insight that's going to be coming through while I'm teaching. I'm going to have my board. I'm going to teach with my magic marker and everything. I'm not going to do a PowerPoint because PowerPoint seems to try to limit me a lot. So I need to be able to write, talk, and write, and erase, and write, and erase, talk, write. I got to do all of that to keep things going. So make sure y'all come on out this coming Sunday, May the 7th, 2 to 6 p.m. I'll be at Una Teas and Coffee Cafe, all right there at 640 Evans Street in Atlanta, Georgia, West End. All right. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be strong, be focused, and be your great self all the time. Take care. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, or linktree at KingSimonTheNumerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysical, esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerovator, using the numbers, or quote-unquote numerals, and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be their very best self and maximize it. Because the numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. We must remember that.